Hello and welcome back to Female Thriving Over 30, where we are, of course, thriving over 30. But today we're going to talk about how you can thrive over 30 without getting burnt out. Um, but before we get into that, let's just see how we're doing, how our week's been. So how are you this week?
Good, good. I think this is one of our duo episodes in a while. Like, I think we have been having quite a lot of guests lately,
Yeah,
so it feels nice to finally be just chatting you and me. But yeah, my
yeah.
week has been pretty good. The weekend, I tackled my mess room, so I got rid of a lot of things. There's still so much to get rid of. It's just like I just keep like finding things. I'm just really trying to be like, it's okay. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why is this doing here? Like, why do I have all of this crap? This is just crazy. So I've made already a pile for donation, a pile for the skip, things that are like, cannot be donated, cannot be sold. This is just like bad. And then a pile for selling. So I'm just going to try to sell a couple of things that are in really good conditions. Loads of my
Mhm.
passion wardrobe, mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to throw a lot of things away because of my cats. So it's like, oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
full of hair. I
Yeah.
tried to remove it. It's just not coming out. I cannot give this to charity. That's just not fair. It's going to have to go in the bin. But
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, good. Rocking my lashes for a week and a half.
Mm. Looking fabulous.
They're doing good. And today decided to be in my pajamas. I was lazy. Actually, this weekend when I was doing my cleanup, I was like, oh, I so want it to be autumn. I want it to be like, cozy weather season. I want to be in my house. I just want to wear all of my like brown stuff and like, autumny stuff. And today I woke up and I was like, did I summon cozy weather? Because it's very cold. It's quite chilly. I went for my walk and I'm like, oh my God, I need to put on like a light scarf. I had to put like a gilet on top of my hoodie and
Mhm.
everything. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not complaining. But today, yeah, I felt lazy. I felt lazy because I woke up, I found that weather, and I was like, today I feel lazy, so I'm in my pajamas.
You know what? I mean, we're just the same person. We've already discovered this, haven't we? But I'm feeling exactly the same. Part of me doesn't want to, I don't want to rush somewhere out of the way. So I'm not
Mhm.
gonna try and influence. Like a few months of the days will be fine. It would be nice to make the most of whatever we've got left. However, I'm so ready for that like autumn. Today I was relieved when I went out and there was like a bit of a breeze and I could wear a jacket.
Mhm.
Like to me, that was like, oh, great. It was just that bit of like relief from all the heat all the time, especially when I'm busy doing stuff with Mila.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going places and I'm having to like run around, go in play areas and
God,
stuff, like the heat is not good.
no. And these past few weeks, heat has been a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So today was quite nice. We was at a birthday party
Nice.
at a farm. So it's like we fed the animals, went on a tractor ride, we went in the soft play. So that was really nice. And I feel like I got a bit of exercise because I was having to climb up and down soft play. I did think I was going to get trapped several times because it was like tiny little like tunnels. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I can fit through here. And Mina and her friends were like army crawling, hoping not to get stuck and have to get like cut out by some firemen or something.
Can you imagine? Guys, we are doing the podcast from like from the farm. I'm stuck here. I'm waiting for the police and everyone, the fire department to come and get me out.
Just permanently living in the tunnel at this point.
Can you imagine?
So that was my day, and I'm also totally relate on the house clearing stuff. Like I feel like I got to a really good point of sorting stuff out,
Hmm.
and then now it feels like chaos again. But I know that every time the chaos comes, we'll be in a better place
Yeah.
afterwards. Because right now I have like all my paperwork and stuff pulled out that I need to sort through
Hmm.
of what I need to keep, what I can get rid of, and all of
Hmm.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always a mess before it gets better.
Always.
So that's what I'm going with. This room's going to be my next thing that's going to be
Hmm.
completely emptied. But also I have two big boxes of things that I had ready to sell
Yeah.
for quite a while now that
Yeah.
really need to put up for sale, but I think I'm going to have a look through again. And I think some things will be able to donate because sometimes I feel like the first look through, I'm like,
Uh,
oh, this should be sold, this should be sold. And then the second look through, I'm like, oh, you know what, this could just be
yeah,
donated instead.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
yes.
see.
Because I mean, I still have a lot of clothes that I haven't gone through from my pageant wardrobe because I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm coming back, I'm competing again. And then other times I'm just thinking like, no, I'm not gonna compete again. I don't think I am
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I should
yeah,
just, sell stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I'm going to compete again. No, but
Yes, it's
so
hard
I'm
because
just
if you're
going
going
like
back and
that.
forth, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to get rid of it all and then be like, oh, I'm going to compete and I've got
Yes.
nothing left and I'm going to have to start
Exactly.
from
And now I'm gonna have
scratch.
to spend the money and just buy new
Yeah.
things again. So that's my where I am. And then I need to start tackling the kitchen because I know I have a lot
Right.
of cupboards with a lot of things that I haven't used probably since I moved in because I
Hmm.
put them in there and I forget that they exist.
Yeah.
So clearly I don't need them.
Yeah. There are multiple cupboards in my kitchen I don't think I've opened for a long time. I don't go in them. So there's obviously nothing useful in there that I actually use on a daily basis. So like
Yeah.
they can probably just go. Like there's no point even I might just open them with my eyes shut and shove it all in a bin bag.
Yeah. Literally without looking. You don't need it.
Because as soon as you look, that's when you're like, oh
No,
actually,
but
yeah,
I
one day I am gonna use this special gadget that's gonna
yeah.
make me
Yeah.
certain shaped potatoes or whatever, and you're just never gonna do it.
Yes. And then you will throw it away and then you're doing a recipe and you're like, you need this special thing. And you're like,
Oh
damn
yeah. Yeah.
it, donated it.
You just can't win.
Just gonna go to my local like charity shop and just buy it back.
Yeah, you could just go buy it back. Yeah, if you really need it that much.
Which, by the way, you know what I did the other day when I brought all of my stuff to the charity shops? I went into the
Mhm.
DVD section and I got a lot of DVDs, of
Ah,
like my
nice.
movies and stuff. And I
Yeah,
started
yeah,
cataloging them on an app on my phone because
yeah,
I was like, oh my God, I had so many movies that I didn't remember that I had here in DVD.
yeah.
So I
Mm.
literally it's a really good app. It's called, what is it called? I think maybe it's called Movies.
Is
So
that literally what the
fun.
app is called?
Literally, it's called
Is
Movies.
what it says on the tin?
Yeah, it's called Movies. And basically, what you can do is you can just like scan the barcode that is in the back of the
Ah,
DVD, and it
mm-hmm.
already like pulls up the photo with
Yeah,
the information of the movie and things like that.
yeah,
And you can rate it. So then,
yeah, yeah,
whenever I feel like, oh, I want to watch a movie, and it's like, but what movies do I have? Then I can just go in here
yeah.
and see
That's
the movies that I
good.
have.
Yeah, and can you do that so can you add things that you don't have? You know, like if you watch
Yeah,
something on a streaming service, can you add them on
yeah,
there as well? So
yeah,
it's a bit like Goodreads for books.
yeah.
So for Goodreads, yeah, where you can like log the books that you've read. My husband
Hmm.
does that. And I'm just, I mean, you know what I'm like. You saw my like however many thousand emails on my phone. Like which actually now I'm really on top of it, just saying. I feel like I'm a
Good.
changed woman. After being shamed on Instagram, I feel like I'm a changed woman. But I'm really jealous of that because I own books that I've had for years and years. But
Hmm.
I don't remember which one I've read. Sometimes because sometimes I've bought multiple books I wanted to read, especially because like majority of my books are, like thriller,
Hmm.
crimey,
Yeah.
like mystery. And sometimes I can't remember which ones I've read and which ones I haven't. And I think, oh, I wish I was logging this so I could remember which ones I'd read. Or even if I have read it, if I like rate it and know how much I liked it, then I'll know whether I want to read it again
Yeah.
at some point. Or
Well, you
like,
need to
it's
do
very
that.
good. I'm gonna have to start
You
doing
need to
that.
do that, and you need to do the same thing with
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
the app, because yeah, you
Yeah.
can just log anything that you have bought on the streaming services and
Hmm.
things like that as well in
Yeah.
there. You can just give it your rating and
Yeah.
all of that. It's nice.
Well, this actually leads very nicely into what we're talking about today, because I feel like we're talking about things we're doing to try and simplify our lives a little bit.
Yep.
And today's episode is all about saying goodbye to the boss babe era. So, how many of you have been sat Googling boss babe goals while you're lying in bed and you're tired, too exhausted to actually care about doing any of it? Um,
Me.
I was saying I go through phases of this, so we're going to get more into that. But there's been like decades where we've been on this like rising grind, boss babe woman phase, I feel like. And I think a lot of women now are starting to say enough. and we're stepping away from that and stopping with using burnout as like a trophy that we've managed to achieve and moving into something that's a bit quieter, softer, and simpler, like what we're trying to do. So less chasing and more choosing, not louder, not faster, but just being more balanced and more aligned. So as you've just heard, we're trying to start embracing that soft side of life. Actually, I think I changed my bio on Instagram a while ago to like chasing softer version of success or something like that, which is kind of my motto for the moment.
Like that.
Yeah. So it's all about us trying to do something that doesn't require us to sacrifice ourselves in order to be able to succeed in life and have the life that we want. So today we're going to be asking ourselves, is the rejection of hustle culture or a reinvention of power on, is this the rejection of hustle culture or a reinvention of power on our own terms? So let's talk about what it says, what it means to say goodbye to boss babe and hello to something that actually feels good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for it. It's been something that lately I have been thinking a lot about, like, am I less ambitious or am I just
Mhm,
like more selective to what I'm
mhm.
going after, you know? Because
Yeah,
before it was just like everything, you have everything, 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 everything nonstop.
yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think sometimes I go through phases where I feel really bad about myself and I think like, oh, what happened to me? Like I used to be so motivated to want to
Mm.
do all of this stuff. And all of a sudden I feel like I've lost the drive to do
Yes.
a lot of things. But then I try and remind myself that maybe that's not a bad thing, because I feel like I'm trying to live a more simple life. But then part of me is like, there's still that voice in the back of my head that tells me like you're wasting your time. Like if you don't work hard every day to get what you want,
Mhm.
then you're never going to get there
Mhm.
and you're going to regret it. So stop like trying to relax and get back to work. Like I still
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
fairly
But
regularly.
but I think that is going to be really hard for, I mean, it's just like, when you've been used to do something on a regular basis and it's always been part of you, part of who you are,
Mhm.
it's hard to kind of like break free from that from
Mhm.
one day to another, right? So we're still gonna have those thoughts on our mind, like coming in and just being like, you should do this. And you're like, no, you said goodbye to that already.
Yeah.
So I really wanted for us to talk about this topic for a while. I saw this post on Instagram that was all about, like, are we, you know, at the end of that babe culture? And recently I started listening to an audiobook by Stassi Schroeder that is called like You Can Have It All. And when I started listening to the audiobook, I was like, oh my God, I feel so seen. This is exactly how I feel. And I'm like, I think we need to start, maybe shedding more light on what the impact of that post babe era has had on us, and why are we craving so much that soft life and like
I
breaking free from that.
think for me, like literally like physically, mentally, I don't know how I've even got to the age I am now living on adrenaline. I've always said like I'm always in adrenaline mode. Like it's always like this, do, more, more, more. Like that's exhausting.
Yeah.
And I just think there's only so long I can live like that. And obviously I suffered with anxiety in my early 20s and I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot of coping mechanisms. I learned a lot to help me. However, I still get anxious sometimes. I think it's
Hmm.
just
I think it's
one, it's a very
natural.
natural thing. I think a lot of people do. And it's part of probably some of my personality traits and the way I
Hmm.
think lends itself to that type of thinking as well. But I just think like, how could you not be anxious when you are trying to do physically, mentally more than you should possibly be
Yes.
doing? Like
Yeah.
we shouldn't even be doing that much. And it's not like, oh, we're not, I just don't think we're supposed to be doing all of that stuff at that speed all of the time. And
Mm.
so I think for me, it's literally like I need to stop at this point. And I think, yeah, my body, my mind, everything was telling me like you need to. slow down
Slow down.
now. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Do you, because we were discussing this right before we clicked the record button.
Mhm.
And we were just like, when did this start? Like when did the boss babe era start? And we were like, oh, I think it's something that we had ingrained in us since forever. And I'm just
Mhm.
wondering now that you were saying, like, like you've always been in that adrenaline mode. I
Mhm.
have as well. But then on top of that, for example, you have a kid, so it's kind of like
Mhm.
even like an extra layer to that.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just now thinking, do you think this is something that has been ingrained on us from our parents, like previous generations, that maybe stop working, like the mom stopped working to take care of the kids,
Mhm.
and then they were like, "Oh, you never stop working. You need to be your own woman. You need to make your own money. You need to do." Do you think that's where it's coming from?
I think maybe part of it, like I come from a lower income background, so I feel like my parents always wanted us to have more, which
Mhm.
I think is a
Yeah.
natural thing that
Yeah.
happens between generations anyway. No matter where you come from, I think
Yeah.
naturally a parent always wants their child to achieve more and have more than they ever did. It's just a
Yeah.
natural instinct. So I think they were never pushy, like they were never really strict and or anything in that way at all. But I think they really encouraged us
Yes.
to
Yeah.
try and like it's almost like, oh, we believe in you, believe in yourself, you can get whatever you want, which is obviously amazing, an amazing thing
Good.
to teach your children. However, you don't have to try and get everything
Yeah.
unless you really want to or need to, and you don't need to have everything to be happy. I
Yeah.
think maybe that message can be
Yeah.
misconstrued when it's almost like, oh, if I have the opportunity to do anything I want, if I work hard enough, then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should work hard enough to get
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's what you said, like it is right. I don't think, I mean, maybe some parents do, right? But I don't think the majority of parents were like pushing their kids to just,
Hmm.
hustle and do
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But I think it's because we saw the way that they grew up. You see the
Hmm.
comments that are made, maybe around dinner tables when you're meeting with other family members and things like that. And there is
Hmm.
always that topic, around
Hmm.
that in your mind, you unconsciously feel, oh, I need to hustle. I need to make sure that I am able to have more than what my parents did because they've sacrificed this to give me this education and this and that, so I need to make sure that I do all of that. And then obviously we see things in the media. I mean, for us it
Hmm.
was first magazines and stuff. It was a little bit different,
Yeah,
but then I think when social media started to be more you know out
yeah.
there, I think that's when it got even even worse.
And I think the other problem is like it's another natural thing, but as soon as you have a goal and you meet a goal, you just move the goalpost, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it never ends. Like
Hmm.
you might be hustling to meet a particular goal, but then you meet that goal and then I don't know where I get this from, but I feel like I've never celebrated
Oh,
anything
me neither.
properly. It's just like, got it, move on, next thing, next thing, next thing. It's only now in my life where I'm starting to look back and think, wow, like I should really appreciate and celebrate those things I achieved. Because at the moment, at the time it happened,
Hmm.
don't think I allowed myself to actually like be
Hmm.
proud and to like celebrate.
Yeah.
But because we all constantly, the more you have, the more you get, the more you have, the more you want. So it's like, that's why for me, I realize now at this age, if I don't like one to figure out what I actually want,
Hmm.
do I want like for me personally, I don't want a bigger house or anything like that is not something I desire whatsoever. If anything, eventually I would love to like downsize into a little cottage. Like I feel like that to me would I'd enjoy that more than being
Hmm.
in like a bigger house and
Yeah.
those kind of things. And if I don't want any of that, then why am I doing it? Like, but
Yeah.
I think that's what I think for me, I've just come to a point in my life where I think like I actually need to evaluate what I actually want, like what brings me happiness. And if those things don't come from working harder, trying to earn more money,
Hmm.
whatever it might be, then why am I actually doing them? What am I getting out of it? Or
Yeah.
is it that I need to focus on other things that bring me happiness that aren't focused on making money or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever that might be?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I wanted to mention like a couple of key insights that I got out
Hmm.
of the book as I was like,
Yeah.
they said it was another book. I was listening to it on my walks and I kept like bookmarking everything. I was like, cool, cool, cool.
I
But I was
need to
like,
listen to this or read this. It sounds good.
oh, no, it's really good. And I think this
Yeah.
you're gonna like it because the first half of the book is about like, all of these that we're talking about, the boss babe era and
Hmm.
stuff. And then the second half of the book is a lot about motherhood and how
Oh, yeah.
that made her also kind of like change
Hmm.
her perspective on things. So I think you're gonna like it. But one of the things that she said that I felt so identified with, she said like, you know, her self-esteem was tied to how much she was accomplishing. So
Hmm.
identity was tied to professional success. So the more she was achieving, the better she felt about herself. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's so true. And then we keep
Yeah.
achieving. And as you said, like we do not celebrate that thing that we have
Hmm.
achieved because it's just like, okay, I have achieved this, but I need to achieve something else because otherwise
Yeah.
my worth is
Yeah.
nowhere to be found, you know?
Hmm.
It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've managed to get here at work or here in my business, but that's not enough now. What is the next
Hmm.
step or the next level?
Yeah.
Right?
I resonate.
Um, then she says like she started thinking about what her values and things that bring her joy were. So why does she need to be achieving something to feel good about herself? All of those
Yeah.
things that she's trying to achieve had anything to do with her values and what thing or what bring her joy?
Yeah.
No. So why should we keep achieving or like doing
Yeah.
things to achieve some type of level to feel good about ourselves if in the process we're losing ourselves, we're burning
Yeah.
out, and we're not really enjoying even the ride,
Yeah.
right? And then another thing that she said is like, so why do we always need to be on top? Like sometimes landing somewhere in the middle is the sweetest spot. So the word
Yeah.
content didn't scare her anymore. So I think
Yeah.
that's a really good point, right? It's like
Yeah.
contentment is
Yeah.
kind of like accepting defeat in a way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
I think that's where I'm at the moment. Like I just like I think especially career wise, I've always like felt like I needed to climb and go to the next thing. And right now, maybe it's an impact of having neither as well and not wanting to be working all the time.
Hmm.
I feel I still want to I still have small goals that I want to achieve
Yeah.
within work, but I'm not pushing to be at the next level in terms of like actually getting promoted or anything like that. I just want to try and just enjoy my work for what it is
Yeah.
and because I think that's like it says there as well, it's about there's like a comfortability that comes with that. Like I can, for the first time in a long time in my career, I'll be really comfortable in my job because I always progress through things. You have that
Hmm.
period of like learning and having to get used to the job and imposter syndrome and all of that. And I would love to just be in a place where I'm just really like,
Just
yeah,
cruising.
I know what I'm doing, completely know what I'm doing, totally comfortable. I'm good at what I'm doing and just be in that. And I've never had that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm striving for.
And I think that, to be honest, I think that is great. That's something that I always tell everybody that has been in my team. I've always
Mm-hmm.
said it, like we take our job very seriously as we should, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we have a job. We're providing a service in any
Hmm.
way, but we need to think that at the end of the day, it's a job. Not everybody's going to congratulate you for every single thing that you do because one, not everybody's able to see that, especially in corporate where you have like a lot of
Yeah.
layers. And two, so many times it doesn't translate into what you want it to be, that type of congratulation on that,
Hmm.
even a promotion or more money or whatever. So
Yeah.
you should do your job because you like it and you enjoy it, but you
Hmm.
shouldn't give your whole life to it.
Yeah. It's
Because
all
at the
about
end of the
balance.
day, yeah, exactly. Your health, I think, takes
Hmm.
priority.
Yeah.
And sometimes, unfortunately, you only learn this the hard way,
Yeah.
not because someone has told you. So I've always made a big emphasis to tell every single person, remember, it's just a job. Remember to take care of yourself
Yeah.
because you don't want to be in the place that I have been. And I know
Yeah.
there's going to be sometimes that there's going to be peaks of work
Hmm.
and there's going to be more stressful times, but then whenever it's a quieter time, enjoy it. Don't try to
I
do more. Just
yeah,
enjoy the peace.
yeah. I think for me, and something I've been thinking about a lot recently, I was actually talking to my dad about this yesterday when I saw him. My dad having his
Mm-hmm.
emergency open heart surgery at the end of last year. Although it's not something that I specifically think about every day. However, it
Mm-hmm.
has impacted the way I think about my life every day, 100%. Like when I reflect on it, I think just going through that experience has really made me view life differently and made me
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate the
Yeah.
my priorities and just a lot of things. I think naturally any sort of situation like that that you go through, anything where it just shows you that life can be fragile
Mm-hmm.
has really made me think about like if I, well, I do only have a certain amount of time on this planet, but I don't know how long that's going to be. And if I only have a certain amount of time, how do I want to spend that
Yeah.
time? And that's really something I just think about all the time now, and I'm trying to implement.
Would you say that was kind of like the event that made you think this hustle culture, this boss babe thing is just not for me? I need to take it
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
I don't think at the time I realized that. I think for a while I'd been thinking like I need to slow down a little bit, but I do think, especially on reflection now, my life's changed dramatically in like in small ways, but in all ways it has
Mhm.
built up to make quite a big difference since my dad
Yeah.
had open
Yeah.
heart surgery because
Yeah.
I evaluate everything that I'm doing differently, and I think I weigh up the pros and cons of things and more than I ever did. Whereas before I would just see the positive and the benefits of doing something, and I'd be like, yes, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I weigh it up and I think, right, I've got to think about the benefits of doing this thing or working on this particular thing every day versus the actual what I'm actually going to get back from that
Yeah.
investment. And if I'm not getting a lot back from that investment, then I can't, that's not where I can put my time because
Yeah.
time is precious.
Yeah. And it's just so sad that it always is, and it always is. Like if you ask
Hmm.
anybody, it always is a health scare that
Hmm.
make you then reevaluate what you're doing. And
Yeah.
especially like all of that, like, do I really need to be hustling so much and just doing all of these
Yeah.
things, achieving all of these things now, like because there is a
Yeah.
time limit for everything, which again, remind everybody that is not.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we needed to do this episode, because I would love for people to be able to realize that they don't need to do these things or start thinking about like what they are doing now before they get to the health scare portion of things, because it's
Yeah.
not fun being there. And we need to try to realize about these things before it's either too late, because that happened to people, it's too late, or
Yeah.
yeah, you have a health scare. For me,
Yeah.
I think it was before competing in international miss in 2022.
Hmm.
I remember I was like so stressed trying to prepare everything, and then Ollie were like, oh, you've lost a lot of hair. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he took a photo of the top of my head, and I have
Hmm.
a like like this big, I'm not kidding, bald patch in my head from the stress that I had been going on between like
Wow.
work, like how work was stressful, like preparing for the internationals, trying to scramble everything, how
Hmm.
much everything was going to cost me. So you just like start having like all of those things, but I didn't want to let anything go, because I was like,
Yeah.
I've been working so hard for this, and this is like another goal of mine. And then
Hmm.
after that, I was like, I need to slow
Yeah.
down. This cannot keep continuing, because I'm gonna be bold by the end of the year.
Well, it's scary, isn't
It is
it?
scary, yeah.
The way your body actually responds to it. Like the fact that you can be stressed to a level where your body is reacting in that way. Like we should never be at that level of
Mm-mm.
stress, should
No,
we?
absolutely not. And I think like brings me back a lot. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I said like we've mentioned this in many episodes. I think we've been like this whole year for us has been like pretty life changing, I will say.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it just brings me a lot to being younger,
Yeah.
and I repeat again, when there was no social media and there was like
Hmm.
no need to compare myself to anybody else on what everybody else was doing, and just feeling content with what you
Yeah.
have and being
Yeah.
happy with it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm really craving that. So I think that's why I'm craving
Yeah.
cozy season, just
Yeah.
craving.
Again, like we're literally the same person. And just to say, actually, thinking about it, since we even started doing this podcast together, I feel like we've been through a lot of, we've been through a lot of stuff between us,
Yes.
haven't we? And, but I think like that's what this is all about. Like, it's actually, I think having this as like a way for us to talk about these things
Mhm.
and for other people to hear it and to like be honest about life is why this is so important. So yeah, it's just made me think actually, like the amount of different topics we've been able to talk about based on just our own life experiences in the past like
Mhm.
year or so. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. What were we saying?
We were
Oh,
talking
about
about like,
the going back to simple life. Yes, this is exactly how I feel as well. And part of me even I keep getting this like intrusive thought in my head that's telling me like, so obviously I'm handing over next
mhm.
month. Like, so once I've done that, like, I'm just going to delete all my social media. Like, I keep having this thought of doing this. And then I'm like, well, I can't do that because I've got the podcast. So I need to have that. And I do enjoy, I think I need to get back to a point of just like doing it from an enjoyment perspective,
Mhm.
rather than because obviously a lot of it's now
Yeah.
associated with roles that I have and
Yeah.
all and those kind of things. But yeah, I part of me wants to disappear a bit. Just
Yeah.
like sometimes I just feel like I want to like disconnect from everybody and just
Yeah.
disappear and just like
Yeah.
be on my own. And then maybe I'll reemerge, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just disappear and
Yeah.
that's it. And just that's I get that all the time. I crave it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do that. I'm just like too like one of the things that I really need is a proper technical detox. And I don't know
Yeah,
how to do that because I've become so used to like when I'm bored, I just open
yeah,
TikTok and I'm just like
yeah,
scrolling. Or I'm just like checking Instagram very often, like
yeah,
in a little second that I have and you just see what everybody's doing. So
yeah,
I start posting less, and I'm just like I started posting now on my Instagram the way that I used to post before, just for things that I want to be able to
yeah,
see
yeah.
in a couple of years from now. So like, oh,
Yes,
let's see
which
what I
is what
was
I want to
doing.
do. Yeah,
Kind of like my photo
yeah,
album of things.
hmm,
Not posting like daily or like thinking about everything like as I used to do when I was competing, for example.
yeah,
But I still like I need to check Instagram or TikTok of whatever. So I think I will find
yeah,
so difficult and I feel so anxious about properly disappearing. But I want to do something like that. I want to be able to not look at my phone as often
yeah,
and start being entertained by other things that is not what I see on my
yeah,
phone.
yes,
I don't know
yeah,
how to do that.
yeah.
I need
And
help.
I,
Help.
oh, I get it. I totally get it because part of me is like, it doesn't help that my job doesn't help because obviously I teach digital marketing. Like
Yeah.
if I remove myself from all social media, like that's obviously now a big part of digital marketing.
Mhm.
So it's like I almost need to be engaging with
Yeah.
it in some way, but I think I need to engage with it in a different way because I get that as well. And I think one, I would love to just do it. Like maybe I will at some point just do it for like a week or two and just completely
Mhm.
because the world's not going to end. Like part
No.
of me, I like literally think sometimes like, oh, if I don't go on it and someone's messaged me, then I haven't responded or commented and I haven't responded
Mhm.
to them in like a week or two, like, oh my God, that would be so bad. Like I would actually be stressed thinking, oh,
Yeah.
what somebody's trying to contact me and I'm not on there or
Yeah.
that's madness. Because if it's
Yeah.
somebody who like actually needs to contact you and has your contact details, they'll
Yeah.
message you or ring
Yeah.
you or whatever. Like I think we find reasons why we can't do that. Part of me would love to just even just people delete the apps, don't they? Which I've
Yes.
always thought like, oh, it's so
I know.
drastic. But I do think at some point I would like to just delete the apps for
Yeah.
just a week
So
or
brave.
two and just have no
Yeah.
and see how like just to
Yeah. Yeah.
experience like that because I do think it adds to my anxiety, but not from seeing other people's content, but it's from feeling like I'm busy all the time. It's like
Yes.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
stimulating. It's like stimulating all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always found so brave people that delete the app And
Yeah.
I think for me, the only way to be able to do the detox is to delete all the apps. But then, I change phones at Christmas, and obviously you
Mhm.
need to reinstall all of your apps. And I lost access to my makeup business account, right?
Mhm.
And I was so anxious because I just couldn't get back on it. And I'm like, people
Yeah.
are going to be messaging me and I'm not answering and all of that. I mean, it was good because I took a really good break from it and it
Yeah.
was nice not having to answer all those messages all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like I will feel so anxious that I'm not going to be able to recover the account after
Yeah.
deleting the app.
Yeah.
Even though I know my passwords and I have
Yeah.
my two-factor authentication app
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
gonna get, I still have that anxiety.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. I think it has to be at the right time, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But then also we both enjoy, like we enjoy doing this. You enjoy doing
Yes.
your commentary on pageant stuff that you
Yeah.
do as well. So it's like it's finding a way to get the balance with
Yeah.
it while still being able to engage with it in the way that we
Yeah.
like to. Because I find it's like a creative outlet for me as well, being able to use
Mhm.
digital tools and social media and stuff. So I would miss it.
Is there I'm asking because I have no idea, but is there a timer that you can put on an app? In the sense of like I can only go on Instagram between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
I don't know, but do you remember we mentioned before this thing called a brick? I think I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Block brick, something
Yeah.
like that, where you can set it up so that it blocks certain apps.
Mhm.
And you tap your phone against
Yeah.
it and it
Yeah.
blocks all the apps and then you have to re-tap it against the thing
Yeah.
for it to reinstate the
Yeah.
apps. But there must be other ways. There must be other
Yeah.
ways of doing it without like a physical
Yeah.
device.
I mean, if anybody listening knows, please let us know in a comment or reach out to us on our DMs. And if someone that works for Meta, Instagram, and stuff, that would be a nice feature to add to
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
apps.
They might not want to do that. Then we have less people on the app. Yes, it
But
would
not
be
not
very beneficial.
not everybody. It's just gonna be us, the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that need a break from time to time, that are too overwhelmed. The young people are still gonna be there. The people that
yeah,
their job is, content
yeah,
creation or businesses and stuff, they're still gonna be in the app. So,
yeah, yeah.
and we're still gonna get all of the ads once we are
Yes.
in our time frame. We're still gonna see
Yeah.
things.
Sometimes I think like, especially in the evenings and trying to change the way I spend my evenings, because
Yeah,
often I'll like recently I felt like I've needed it. So actually it's been really good for me. And even though I'm on leave at the moment, I've just done a bit of
mhm,
stuff that I need to do for my work. And I felt like it was easier to do it because I've
yeah,
had like a break from it and I've taken the pressure off and I've binged so many Netflix series. So I'll have to send you all my recommendations. But
yeah,
I've watched so much in the evening. I think especially because I had Mila all day. So it's like
yeah,
I just want to sit and just like not think and watch stuff. But it's really made me think I want to start reading again because I love reading.
yeah,
But I just don't do it very often. And I would love to just spend my evening at least a few nights a week with no screens at
yeah.
all and just read
Oh, that's
or
nice. I need to
uh,
do that too.
yeah, my sister gave me a like a daily journal thing. I think it's a Vex King thing. It's a journal where you like it asks you prompts and stuff that you fill out each day.
Oh,
And I
no.
haven't started it yet, and I've had
Oh,
it in like months, and I've been meaning to do it. So it's those kind of things. I'm just not. I think time gets woven in the evening, especially once you've got kids. I feel like once they go to bed, you want to like suck everything out of that
yeah,
time that you have in the evening.
yeah.
Whereas sometimes I think it would be more beneficial for me to like have a bath, read a book, journal, and go to
Mhm.
bed. Like I would get
Yes.
a lot out of that.
Yes.
But at the time when I put it to bed, and then I then lay on the bed, and then I just like end up scrolling my phone, online shopping,
Oh my
putting
god,
Netflix
yes.
on. Like yeah, I'm actually trying to like declutter the house, and I don't
Yeah.
need any new things, but I
No,
just
no.
do it to kill time. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at different things. Haven't bought anything the last
But that's good.
few
You're
days,
window
but I do
shopping
look.
online.
Yeah, but it's like that's a waste of my time if I'm not buying
Yeah, it
anything. Why
is.
am I wasting my time?
It is. I mean, to be honest, I have to say that I like the other day, yesterday. So yesterday, I've messaged Jasmine in the morning saying, "Oh, I've created kind of like a guide of with points for us to discuss for the episode tomorrow." And I see like she hasn't read it. She hasn't read it. I was like, "Is she okay?" I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know." And then this morning, then she reads it and answers. So a whole day that she hasn't
Yeah.
even read my message.
Yeah.
And I
That's
am
true.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to, she needs to teach me to be like this, because when I see there is a notification on my phone on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, it's not important. I don't need to
Yeah.
answer
Yeah.
now. I leave it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, do you
Yeah.
have a message? Do you have a
I
message? Do you have a message?
this is something I'm actively trying to be better at. So yesterday, obviously I've got a meter at the minute, which makes a big difference all day. So Liam was on a long day at work, so I made breakfast, gave her a bath and everything, and then we went to visit my mum and dad. And then my mum was playing with Mila for a little bit. So I actually thought I'm not going to waste this like hour or two that she's playing with mum. I'm just going to get my jobs done because I had a list of,
Mm-hmm.
I needed to book one night in a hotel in New York for next month. And so just like random things
Yeah.
playing on my mind that I needed to get done. So I actively tried not to go on anything like that and was just
Yeah.
trying to get all my bits done and stuff yesterday. But I do find it hard. I'm just like slowly getting better at it. And the only time, to be honest, I manage it is if a lot of people have messaged me because I'm too overwhelmed to look through. That's why sometimes it has to be the morning. Like this morning, I was like
Yeah.
answering loads of people because it's like, then I'm like, I wake up and I think, right,
Mm-hmm.
I need to clear, like so I can start the day, I need to clear anything that's there. Otherwise it would play on my mind today if I still hadn't done it. So it's really like sometimes I think my brain, if I'm too overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I need to do, can only I have to compartmentalize things,
Yeah.
and it's the only way I function.
I want to be like that. I will get there. This is a work in progress. I've already changed a lot from the way that it
Yeah.
used to be. So I know this is coming. I just wish it came
Yeah.
earlier. But anyway,
Yeah.
it is what it is. A question. Obviously, we have been going through this post babe era, doing a
Mhm.
thousand things at the same time, trying to achieve as much as possible, making our whole identity linked to what we were achieving. And if we were not achieving it, then we were not successful, right? But do you think now we're changing our mindset, not just because we're burnout, but because physically we don't have the same stamina we did in our 20s?
I don't know. Maybe a bit of both, perhaps. So I don't know whether in part of mine comes from the type of job that I've always had as well. Because when I left uni, and then the first job I went into was straight into like a content creation, like content writer, social media
Mm-hmm.
coordinator type role, which does not stop. So
Yeah.
it was for a university, different university, and it would be like people would message their page in the evening and stuff, and I'd have it on my phone. And I would
Mm-hmm.
almost feel like I needed to respond to things in the evenings,
Mm-hmm.
or because social media just never sleeps, does it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I found it very hard to switch off from that job. And I think there were people around me who worked 24/7, which again is
Mm,
not helpful because then you feel
yeah.
like you're not doing your job properly unless you're also doing the same.
Mhm.
And being young and easy, like you're easily influenced,
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
learning what is expected of you. So I think I did that in several different jobs where especially when social media was like the main focus of my job. And then it got to a point where I was just like, I'm gonna have to set the kind of expectation myself that I'm not going to work outside of work hours and I'm going to keep things within work
Mhm.
hours. So I think it's something gradually over time that I've tried. It's like little things that happen in life, isn't it? Like we've said,
Mhm.
like little life events or things where you like reevaluate and then you start putting boundaries in place over time. And when I think
Yeah,
like maybe you get to
boundaries.
our age and you're just stronger, you have a much more self-awareness of what works for you
Yes.
and what your boundaries need to be. And I think for me, I think like most things come from wanting to be accepted, wanting to impress people,
Yeah.
wanting
Yeah.
people to think
Yeah.
certain things of me. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I did was almost trying to prove myself or trying to win other people's acceptance and stuff. And then I think I've got to a point in my life where I'm just like, I'm so okay with who I am. And I just, the only person I care that thinks I'm a good person is Mila and
Mhm.
my husband as well. And if anyone else thinks that I'm not a good person or not achieving enough or whatever, that I don't care.
Yeah.
And I think that that's switched the way
Yeah.
that I am. I'm definitely am more tired and have less energy to do. But that probably comes from being a mum as well. Like obviously,
Yeah.
like I said, when I put her to bed, then I'm like done. I'm just like
Yeah.
ready to not do anything. But yeah, I think I could probably do a lot of the stuff that I was doing if I really, really wanted to. But the willingness to do it's not there
Yeah.
anymore, more than I.
Yeah. And do you
What about
think,
you?
I mean, yeah, I think it's like a mix of everything.
Yeah,
It's like a completely
yeah,
change
yeah.
of mindset. But one of the things that obviously like we are seeing now is like younger women are getting into this
Hmm.
point, right? It's not like when they
Yeah,
get into their 30s, it's like they're already in their 20s that they're like, I don't want to be a manager. I'm happy
yeah,
being like a regular employee, like I don't care. I'll just keep changing jobs and just get salary raises
yeah,
by just changing jobs or whatever. Um,
yeah.
and I'm just wondering, like, do you think that is also a little bit influenced by the influencers in the sense
Hmm.
that obviously we've always seen what being successful meant is usually always going up the ladder, just getting to certain positions, and certain positions mean more money. And then we're seeing that influencers
Hmm.
might be, earning triple or quadruple or what you're doing. Then
Hmm.
people is like, why am I spending my time on this job, giving my everything, doing overtime, putting my health at risk when this other person is just doing 2 hours of a shoot, it gets a lot of money and they live so happy. So I'm gonna live happy
Hmm.
as well. And I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
be doing like the bare minimum that is requested of my job description.
yeah. I think there's definitely been like a shift in how people think about jobs and work. And I
Mhm.
think that's happened. It's been a shift from when we were going into the workplace for the first time to now. And I think that's
Mhm.
why it's been seen in people of our age gradually happening. But for younger
Mhm.
people, it's already happening with them. And I think so when we were young, most people that you knew had like a stable job,
Yeah.
like a 9 to 5 job that they probably stay in for like 40, 50 years.
Mhm.
And I feel like it was the norm, and people were happy to go to work every morning, come home, make dinner,
Mhm.
watch whatever was on the telly, go to sleep, get up and do it again. And that was just like people accepted that as the
Mhm.
way that life was. And then like my parents worked ordinary jobs. They weren't doing anything particularly like glamorous or extravagant or adventurous
Mhm.
in their free time, like we had
Yeah.
nice family
Yeah.
holidays or whatever. But other than that, like they were just content with life because that's what they knew and that's what everybody did.
Mhm.
And then now that like since social media, we see different lifestyles and we're almost
Mhm.
like more connected to the rest of the world. So you see all these places you could go visit and all this
Oh
stuff
yeah.
you could be doing and how you could be spending all of your time. Just seeing people with different points of view. It's like the people that you're around are usually people that are similar to you that share the same outlook on life and the
Yeah.
same kind of values and all of that. So if you think of our parents, like they would have socialized with people who were at the same jobs as them, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you kind of like stay within your circle of similar
Mhm.
people. Whereas now, even like for us, like we'll have people around us who are like me and you are like literally the same person.
Yeah.
So
we're,
clearly
we are both
clearly
gonna
we're still
move to a little village.
clearly we're still like aligning with our similar people. Like that's natural, that happens. And it still happens on social media because we follow the people that
Yeah.
think the same as us. However, we still have access to people that think differently and live
Yeah.
differently. And we like to see all these different perspectives on life and lifestyles that our parents would have never even had
Mm.
access to whatsoever. So I think it's
Yeah.
just opened people's eyes that there are different ways of living that's not the same as their parents or
Mm.
where they're from. If you think, like, I'm from a
Yeah.
small place in the
Yeah.
UK, whereas when my mum and dad would have like they left Lincoln to go on holiday, but other than that, they were in Lincoln, and
Mm.
everybody that they knew was in Lincoln
Yeah.
doing the type of jobs that you can do
Yeah.
within Lincoln. Whereas like now we see everyone from around the world and what they're doing. So,
You know, like that's so like what you said is interesting because today in my walk this morning,
mhm,
I was listening to Khloe Kardashian's podcast and she was interviewing Kris Jenner. And literally she said, like, the only thing that I wanted my whole life was to have 6 kids. And obviously, I grew up in a time where I didn't really have like color TV. The only thing that
mhm,
I saw around me is like you get married, you have a family, you have your
mhm.
kids, you just to make dinner and just do all of your things. And then obviously this whole world opened up to me later on in life. And now here we are, like wanting more things
Yeah,
and more things
yeah.
and more things.
Or even just access to information though. Like if I wanted to go now and learn how to play piano, I could just
Oh yeah.
watch YouTube videos and learn how to play the piano. Like, if our parents ever wanted to do something like that, it would have been so hard to access. They'd have had to pay for lessons and they'd have had to find the time to go to a lesson. Like, there
You will
just
you will
wasn't.
you will be like posting those things like in the lamppost with like pick my
Yeah,
number, I'm
yeah,
giving
yeah,
piano lessons.
yeah. Literally. So we can do more than ever before. We have options because it's like you can learn to do like learning how to do different skills that is all at your fingertips. So sometimes I think we have too many options, which
Yeah.
doesn't help because it makes us want to do and
Yeah.
master everything
Yeah. So it
rather
has
than
that
just
that kind of like has perpetuated the boss babe
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, because you can learn and do everything and be the
Yeah.
best at everything
Yeah. Yeah,
rather than
because like
just
when you think about it, I was just like back in the day, when people wanted to do something, they would just, as you said, like pay someone to perform that
mhm,
service, right? Now
yeah,
you did it with International Miss. I'm pretty sure like I did it with my business. I need a website. I'll create it myself. I go
yeah,
to wix.com and just create my website. How do I get these colors? I just Google what is the code for the color. I just put it in. I just do everything
yeah,
myself. And then I need to create this and I go to Canva and I create it myself and I just do this slogan. I do this
yeah,
and that. And then
mhm,
I need to promote and I'm going to social media. I'm creating the post. So I'm just getting exhausted just thinking about all of that.
yeah,
We are doing everything ourselves
yeah.
when
Yeah.
before maybe we were like delegating certain tasks to certain
Mhm.
people. But then
Yeah.
also, I think it has to do with the cost of
Yeah.
services. We
Yeah.
don't have that much money
Yeah.
to be able to pay for those services. So then it's kind of like a vicious circle.
It reminds me of something my sister said to me once when I think it was when Mina was really young. And I think I was just talking about all the things I had to get done or whatever. I was talking about like needing to wash all the clothes or whatever.
Mhm.
And she said, "Why don't you just take your washing somewhere and just pay somebody to do it once a week?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'd never even think to do that. Like, I
Mm.
feel like I need to, like, we almost feel like we need to do everything ourselves." And she said to me,
Yeah.
like, she basically said to me, like, money isn't the only resource though. So like your time's also a resource.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so true. Like I never did. I've still always do my own laundry. I've
Yeah.
never gone and done that. But it did make me think that sometimes you have to balance. You have to think
Mhm.
of the actual like, okay, so I'm gonna have to pay a certain amount, but then I'm gonna get back this amount of my time, which is
Mhm.
also a resource that you can use for other things.
Yeah.
But I definitely think we're in a time where because we have access to all the information, we think we should do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
Or like we're a failure if we can't do it ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, we need to break with that narrative.
Yeah.
We don't have to do everything ourselves. We don't have to do absolutely everything. It's okay to rest. It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to
Hmm.
put boundaries. And it's okay to not feel like achieving things is the only way to have self worth because you're
Yeah.
worth it no matter what you do.
And it's probably worth saying as well, if what is aligning you right now is you have a certain goal and you want to be working and hard towards that goal every day, like that's fine. And I guess we're not saying that being a boss babe is a bad thing. However, it's about actually evaluating why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. Is it actually aligning with what you want and your values and your happiness? And if that is the phase, I'm starting to think of my life in phases of life. And I think right now I'm in a phase of needing to rest and to reevaluate. Even my vision board that I made only in January, I looked at it today and I was like, I don't actually connect with the majority of these things that are on here. So I'm in the process of putting together some new pictures and stuff to do a new one, even though we're not even in September yet. I'm going to do it ready for September and start again from September, because even just in that small amount of time, what I want has changed and what aligns with me has changed from reflecting on stuff. But so just don't be aware of the phase that you're in and what you need right now, and listen to your body and your head and whatever it's telling you that you need to do.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you always have to be doing a million things.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if you have the energy as well to do everything, just go ahead and do it. But try to stop before you get any health scare. We don't want anybody to be in positions that they just realize in the worst possible way. And then probably after we do our, season break next time, we'll be podcasting from our new cottages in Spain.
This is. Okay, one day I'm going to move to Spain on a small cobbled street, and the only people that are going to see me or know what I'm doing is the person at the local shop and the bakery and the butcher and the community pool or whatever. And I'm going to disappear from everywhere else, and you're never going to see me again. You will, but no, like the world will not see me again. I'll disappear. That's when I'll disconnect. Disconnected.
Wouldn't it be great, like before social media, you only had the friends that, were around you or like close by, and then maybe some friends that were close by once and they moved away, and then you used to write letters to.
Yeah. Like, no wonder we're exhausted. Like, we're not made to be connected to millions of people every day of our lives. Like, we're made to be connected to like a handful, like close people,
Yeah.
Like it's an amazing thing that you can connect with people from around the world, and we like learn so much from other people and the connections we can have that they never would have been able to. However, I feel this, like we were saying earlier about like feeling like you need to be connected with everyone all the time and responding to people all the time and stuff. Like, don't feel like you're failing if you're not being able to keep connected to everybody in your life all the time, because it's just physically impossible. I mean, I get to the point where I just think I'll always, like, anybody that knows me and whom, like, I have a connection with them, I would hope would know that if they ever needed me, I would be there for them 100%. Like, if anybody ever called me or had a problem or needed me, I would be there to help them straight away. However, I find it very hard. Like, I'm not going to be able to be messaging and checking in on how everybody is every day and stuff, because oh my God, how would I ever have the time?
I know. I know.
Like, it can't, like, just don't beat yourself up if you can't stay connected to like a million people every day. It's just not realistic.
I know. I'm working on that. I'm gonna take that tip, and just try not to feel that guilt for not answering everybody right at the moment where they have message. I started doing it already a little bit, but it takes a while, just because I always feel like if maybe something happened, I just need to answer, I don't know if that is like the big sibling in me or something. I just feel like I just need to be there and answer and just be available for whatever thing that happened. But yeah, I'm just going to try that. So in the meantime, if anybody needs to reach somebody for help because they are in trouble in the moment, you can reach me. I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna be there and answering. It's just gonna take me a while to get, rid of that not answering straight away. But yeah, don't text Jasmine if you're in trouble. You need someone straight away.
I will answer.
Oh yeah,
ring me. I'll answer, or I'll ring back. If somebody rings me, I know that it's urgent. So then I will ring them, or if I can't call back or answer, I would message straight away saying like, is everything okay? Like if there's levels to me, you know, like if somebody's calling me, I know that they need me urgently
Yeah.
and I'll be there. If not, I've started to treat it like how like this sounds so cold because this isn't how I'm feeling with people. But with work, it's like you need to respond within 3 business days, for example. Like that's the
Yeah.
expectation is that you will respond to people within 3 business
Yeah.
days. So
Yeah.
I'm trying with myself to be like, as long as I reply within this amount of time and I've not left them hanging for a week, you know, then that's okay.
That's
I'm
so
like trying to give
interesting.
myself permission to just to do that for my own sake.
That's so interesting. Two things. One, what you say, you answer to someone in 3 business days. In my line of work, you need to confirm receipt to an email in an hour. So obviously, that's hard for me to just say like, oh
There
yeah,
you go.
I'll
That's
get
why
back.
you feel like you need to respond straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah. So very good insight, that one that you said.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
two, I keep forgetting that phones ring, like we can call, that we don't need to text people on, like it's not just for texting, that
Yeah.
phones were made to call on the
Yeah.
first place. And I keep
Hmm.
forgetting that I can call people.
I've always been the same. For me, it's like if my phone rings, then I know that's someone I need to get back to as quickly as I
Mhm.
can because it's like, because people don't like calling people nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
or if you're going to have a call, you like arrange it in advance. Like, "Should we have a call on
Yeah.
Tuesday at 4 p.m." So, so if I'm not expecting it and someone rings me, then I think like they need my help or there's
Yeah.
something they need to talk to me about that's time sensitive or whatever. Then yeah, I'll answer or I'll make sure I get back to them straight away. But I always think like if somebody's messaged, then I can assume that
Mhm.
that's, if not, you know, then it's
Yeah.
not that they're not in a position where they urgently need to
Need
be.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such
But
a good
maybe not every, I guess it's different
point.
people's, not everyone would think the same, maybe.
No, I mean, I always love these conversations because, I mean, and as usual, we start with one topic and we derail and we just talk about something else. It's still related, but
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like, I think most of the things that we put in the episode guideline, we haven't even like mentioned or go through, but that's
Let's
okay
have a
because this is how we roll. This is what happens to us. But yeah, I think it's been really nice to touch base on the topic of why we are kind of like looking at living more of like a soft
Mhm,
life and not just give so much to hustle culture, which is
mhm.
what we grew up on. And reflecting on all of these other topics that we have been talking about, I think it has been great. Actually, in 2 episodes, we're gonna have Jasmine doing a true crime episode that I'm so excited about. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Thank you so much for listening every week. We start seeing like our numbers going up. We really, really, really appreciate every single one of you. If you could please leave a review for us or like rate us in Spotify or on whatever you are listening to your podcast, that would really help us because that kind of like boosts us to be able to be discovered by other listeners, which will be great. And we still have the menstrual leave petition open. So please make sure that you vote if you haven't voted yet. If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to the previous episode where we are like basically explaining everything about it. We are now on 60,000 signatures. So we need 40,000 more to be able to get this to Parliament. So please, please, please sign the petition and share it with everybody. And last but not least, we still have a couple of weeks for the British Podcast Awards. So please vote for us for the listener's choice because we will love to be one of the winners on October. And yes, see you in the next episode. Bye.